When I say I, you say HB. I.
HB.
I.
HB.
That worked way better than I thought it was going to. Hello, everyone. My name is Dominic Damore, and I want to thank you all for tuning in to the second best thing you will hear all week. We have a great show for you today that includes the latest film news, as long as with our random thoughts and opinions, ranging from insightful to downright obnoxious. This is the I've Had Better Movies podcast. Let's kick it off. DJ Jazzy Jim.
I like that. I can use that.
What's our first story of the day?
All right, we've got two trailers to start off with. The first one is Jack Reacher Never Go Back trailer. Kind of the same thing as the first one.
A little bit.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I think it's an important thing we need to say.
Yeah, no, for sure. Essentially, what I got from the trailer was Jack Reacher is out doing his badass thing, and then he goes back to talk to / meet an old friend who is played by Colby Smulders, who now is doing Jack's job when he was with the military, and he finds out that his friend has been framed for terrorism and murder of some of her subordinates and things like that. So Jack has to break her out of jail and then proceed to clear her name by punching everyone in the face.
Is this turning into a Liam Neeson movie where it's just going to keep making the same thing over and over again?
Honestly, I feel like that a little
Taken?
bit. Yeah. I wasn't I liked the first Jack Reacher a lot. I really enjoyed that film. Part of it might have been because it was filmed in Pittsburgh, and literally part of my college campus was used in the film. So I was like, oh, hey, I walked down that street one time.
Or the bar that we went to.
Yeah. So like that definitely helped it be better for me, I guess you can say. But I thought it was a good movie. The ending's a little shaky, but up until that point, like it's got a great car chase scene, and I hate car chase scenes, so that has to tell you a lot about it. This trailer, though, it made it look a little cheesy. Part of my issue might be Colby Smulders. I don't think she's a very good movie actress. I don't like her in movies. I mean, she's okay in the Avengers, but she gets like 3 minutes of screen time. She's there for like maybe a joke and a half, and that's it.
I think she's just typecasted. She will always be Robin Scherbatsky.
Yeah, so, but that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
no.
Build yourself a nice TV career. Like, get another series, you'll be fine. I just don't see her as a leading lady type kind of person. That I have issues with. Then, as I mentioned earlier about the whole, like, he proceeds to just punch everybody in the face. I wasn't really kidding about that. Because it makes it look a little cartoonish and almost superhero, because there's like 6 times that like he punches that looks like way too fast. Like he did a normal punch, and then in editing they speeded it up. So it like, oh, Jack Reacher punches really fast and really hard. Like he breaks a window at one point with that looks like nothing's wrong with his hand, and then the final scene of the trailer on the airplane where he's like, you guys all go to the same bar, bam, and just knocked out. And you know it's going to be one of those scenes where nobody else saw the punch happen, and he's going to put a blanket on the guy, and he's like, oh, he's sleeping.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not crazy about that.
Just redoing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's the same, it's a very cookie-cutter film. One guy being a badass throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
And then they're going to make 10 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to piggyback off of that point, my biggest issue with the trailer happens very early on. I'm over that whole badass guy predicts what's going to happen over the next assorted time limit, and then exactly that thing happens. Like in this trailer, he says after he gets handcuffed, let me tell you what's going to happen over the next 90 seconds. First, that phone call's going to ring, and then you're going to go to jail in these handcuffs. And then it happens.
Well, no, honestly, who has a payphone anymore?
That's a good point. It's a good point.
It would have been cooler if you said your cell phone's going to ring.
Yeah, but it just, that felt super cheesy to me.
It is extremely. It's very weak writing.
Yeah, and like, there's been a lot of movies that have done that over the last couple of years. Like, I remember it happening in Riddick, the Vin Diesel movie. Like, he explains exactly what's going to happen in an exact amount of time and all that, and it was cool, like, the first time you see it, you're like, oh, that dude's a badass. But in situations like this, it's like, oh, you don't need that. So, I wasn't crazy about the trailer. If I was going to give it a rating, like 8 F grade, D plus-ish, and that's based off of past credit for the most part. I didn't think it did any favors. All right, on to the next topic. If you guys saw the trailer, let us know what you guys thought. Drop a comment in the section below, or hit us up on Twitter at IHB Podcast, or on Facebook on the I've Had Better Podcast page. The next trailer we're going to talk about is for Lights Out, a horror movie that, to be honest, scared the shit out of me. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm going to be serious with you, too. I was a little intimidated from this. I watched it right before we started talking about it, and it looks semi-interesting.
Yeah.
And I usually am completely against these kind of films.
Yeah. I'm not going to read you the synopsis or anything because it's a horror movie. Story is secondary. But basic concept is there's a demon spirit of a woman who, when you turn out the lights, she appears, but she only appears as like the shadow. Kind of like if you are laying in bed, the lights are off, and you have your door open, and somebody walked in front of your door, all you see is their figure. That's what she is. And they do some really cool camera tricks where somebody has like a blinking neon sign outside their window, and every time it flashes, you see the woman there, and then when it's not flashing, you don't see her anymore, and then she attacks. So that's her concept, and it looks terrifying. The movie stars Teresa Palmer, who I probably like more than most people. She was in that awful movie I Am Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And she was most recently, I think we saw her in 999. She gets like a 3-second cameo as Casey Affleck's wife.
She was in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Bedtime Stories, 999.
I think she's a good actress. She's a very beautiful woman. This movie looks like something that could get her back in the mainstream because the concept is amazing. For me, I liken it to Paranormal Activity. It doesn't have that like Blair Witch Project hidden camera or found footage thing where you're like, this actually happened, this is real. But it's the thing that if I see this at night and I don't go to like a daytime showing and I come home at 1 o'clock and it's like, oh, time to go to bed, there's a solid chance I'm going to sleep with my light on. I'm not even kidding. I'm a 25-year-old man, and I am fully willing to accept the fact
Hey, you're not 25 yet.
Close. We're pushing.
Doesn't matter. Don't jump ahead.
24-year-old man who will sleep with his light on.
I don't know if I'm going to go that far because I still remember that it is a movie and it is not real. That's what I have to keep telling myself.
Midnight showing, me and you.
That's fine. Let's do it.
I'm going to back out. I don't want to do it.
Wait. You coming in all hot.
I was really hoping you were going to bitch up, James.
You bring on the challenge and then you back out?
The one time you stay strong, and it happens to be on something that I
had to. I couldn't bitch out on this one. But the trailer had terrific sound.
Yeah.
I don't know what song it is, and if anyone knows, please let us know, because I will probably download it.
Yeah, it's a remix of an older one. I just can't put my finger on the title. And
they played it perfectly, and it was just enhanced the trailer even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's directed by David F. Sandberg, who you might not know his name now, but he's going to be directing the upcoming Annabelle 2, that spin-off from The Conjuring about the little doll that's possessed, and he's kind of being bred by James Wan, who directed both of The Conjurings, and is going to do, and he did the Fast 7, and he's going to do Aquaman, and this guy in the future is probably going to be a force to deal with, and he's going to be a big name director, so it'll be cool to see some of his earlier work. All right, if you guys saw that trailer, let us know how scared you were. If you were on my level, where, it was a little shaky. If you were on James' level, where you were just pissing your pants. Wait, nope, might have gotten that one reversed.
Yeah, you got that reversed. Please fix that.
Yes. Let us know in the comment section below, or keep it a little bit more private. We swear we won't read your name over the air. Go ahead and send us an email, which is ihbpodcast@gmail.com.
First off, we have a story that broke almost 2 weeks ago, but was so massive we just couldn't squeeze it into episode 29. In what many critics believe to be an attempt to change the way audiences felt about the upcoming Justice League movie, due in part to the underperforming Batman vs. Superman, Warner Bros. Has released a plethora of new information about the new superhero team-up. Some of the most interesting details include:
Yeah, Batman is going to have 2 separate bat suits during the film. A brand new Batmobile and other bat vehicles will be on display beyond the Batwing or the Bat Glider, if you remember from Batman vs. Superman and the Batmobile. There's going to be a brighter and more jovial scene involving the Flash and Bruce Wayne. The location of 3 mother boxes, aka evil alien technology, and their importance to the plot was revealed. Details on Batman and Wonder Woman's recruiting trips were given to the press. A scene involving Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Commissioner Gordon on top of Gotham Police Headquarters was shown as well. And how the Flash got his suit, as well as a upgraded version from Wayne Tech, will be involved in the movie. And finally, Steppenwolf has been confirmed as the villain. As a villain, correction. And, of course, there's a new logo. So, James, of all the things I just listed, and then I'll go into more detail as you go, which one are you most excited about? And do any of these kind of make you apprehensive?
I don't think any of them make me apprehensive because they're all good things that I think it's going to help this film. You're going to know what's going to happen with some of this stuff, which is good because you're not kept in the dark like you were for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And this way they have people to actually go and see the film and not pick it apart piece by piece because of this stuff you already know, which is a good thing. I think it'll pan out for the film.
Yeah.
But I do like how a lot of this revolves around Batman because he was the best part of Batman vs. Superman. Let's start off with the logo.
Yeah.
Give your opinion first.
This is the one thing where I'm like, you were doing so well. The logo's not great. I tweeted this out on the IHB account and also on the Facebook account when they first released it. There's 2 different versions. There's white lettering with a black background, and there's black lettering with a white background, or black lettering with a white lettering with a black. I tweeted out the one with the black because it looks cooler. My personal opinion. I wasn't crazy about the logo itself. To me, it looked very much like the Converse logo that was released a couple of years ago. It's fine. There's nothing special about it. And it's only a logo. Like, I'm sure it's going to change. There's going to be like 6 different versions of this poster anyway. So
yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
Just too plain. There's not enough in there. And black and white, such boring colors.
Yeah.
Could have used, like, even the font is boring. And they could have changed the font up a little bit, but that's nitpicking.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
The other thing that I liked was Batman having 2 separate bat suits.
Yeah.
I think anytime Batman has a bat suit is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new Batmobiles.
Yeah, from what I understand, and granted, I was not there. They did not invite me to come to London as much as I really, really, really wanted them to.
Maybe Justice League Part 2.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe if the IHB podcast takes off and you people share it enough, I could eventually get there and you could get some real details.
How about we?
I don't know if there's room in the budget for that, James.
I will pay it. Since when did we have a budget? This is all new news, and I don't like it.
The bat suit. From what I understand, one will be the traditional one that we saw, and I don't know if they're going to change the look up very much at all. I think it's still going to be the black and the gray for the most part.
Perfect.
Yeah, but the second suit is supposed to be not the armored suit that he wears in Batman vs. Superman, but it's a dumbed down version. Like, the suit itself is reinforced, and his helmet has better communication ability, and he can kind of talk to his Batmobile and other vehicles that he uses during the fight.
Like Bluetooth.
Yeah, a little bit. Because the way I'm interpreting this is, because everybody's like, how is Batman going to stand up against all these like super-powered people? I think he's going to be gadgeted as hell. I think he's going to be able to like, because the new Batmobile has this giant cannon essentially, and I think he's going to be able to be fighting one dude and then think something, and it'll send a message to the Batmobile to send a rocket up some dude's ass, and then he's going to call in the Batplane to be shooting people down, and So I think that's going to happen. So those are the two suits. The thing I'm most excited about is the lighter tone. And granted, there's a lot of people online who are like, I don't want a lighter tone. I like it being dark. I don't want this to be an Avengers movie. And they're not going to make an Avengers movie. It's Zack Snyder. It's still going to be a dark film. There's just going to be more moments of levity. Like, nobody's 100% serious 100% of the time. So there's a great scene that was talked about that the critics and reporters who got to actually see it be filmed, where Bruce Wayne is in the Flash's apartment. The Flash is played by Ezra Miller. And the Flash walks in, turns on the lights, and sees Bruce Wayne sitting in the corner. Bruce Wayne pulls out an iPad or a picture and shows it to the Flash and says, "This is you. I need to know what you can do." And the video/image is what we see in Batman vs. Superman, where the Flash is at the convenience store, standing in place. Then it looks like he's super fast, knocks out a robber, comes back to the freezer. And Flash is all like, "No, that's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a good Jewish boy." Which is a cool callback to the comics, because in the comics, Flash is Jewish. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I'm a good Jewish boy. I don't even drink milk." Batman/Bruce Wayne gets fed up, chucks a batarang at him. Flash slows down time, takes the batarang out of the air. It comes back to real time, and Bruce Wayne's like, "So you're fast." And then the Flash is like, "So you're Batman?"
Yeah.
It's a very fun scene. And then Batman/Bruce Wayne goes into, there's this threat coming. We're putting together a team to save the world. It's going to be dangerous. And before he can even finish/get started, the Flash is like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
And Batman kind of looks at him with a puzzled look, and the Flash goes, "I need friends."
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then follows that up with, "Can I keep this?"
Yeah.
Talking about the Batarang. So it was a very fun scene, and I probably should have thrown out spoilers before this, because if that scene has now been ruined for you, but it just goes to show that Warner Bros. Is taking into account what people are saying, and they know that Batman vs. Superman was underdeveloped and underwhelmed box office-wise, so they're trying to make course corrections. And to me, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a good move. It sounds like an interesting scene. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, just to give you guys, because we threw a lot of information at you, the mother boxes that were mentioned, those are alien technology. We've seen one already. That's the thing in Batman vs. Superman that you see give Cyborg his powers in that little video clip, that floating box. Essentially, they're advanced technology that allows for intergalactic travel, and that's how the big bad of Justice League is eventually going to come to Earth. One is going to be with the Amazons, one is going to be with the people of Atlantis, and one belongs to the humans. So odds are that the Steppenwolf's people are going to be trying to collect all three of them for bad. The Justice League are going to be trying to stop them from being collected. Ultimately, you think Justice League's kind of got to fail? Like, they may win in the end, but in a way they're going to fail and open up those boom tubes.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. What else do I have here? Wonder Woman is most likely going to recruit Cyborg, while Batman focuses on the Flash. Flash made his costume by running into NASA, stealing a 3D printer and some of their material, and creating a heat-resistant shield suit. And Wayne Tech is going to kind of upgrade that suit for him. Kind of like what happened with
Spider-Man
and Captain America Civil War. So, who knows? Maybe DC is like, yeah, Batman and Flash are kind of going to be our Tony Stark and Spider-Man. Which is awesome, because all four of those characters are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they should just start copying everything they do.
Yeah. If there's anything we didn't quite touch on, or that we said but didn't go into detail to, let us know in the section below. The comment section, we monitor that. I will reply to anything you have interest about, or you can hit us up on Twitter, send us a question. We're more than happy to answer those. You can send that to @IHB Podcast, or hit us up on Facebook at the I've Had Better Podcast page. All right, next up we have very special story for James and I. I'm going to finally knock some sense into him. But doubters of the Power Rangers movie, a.k.a. Jim, may be singing a different tune, as via the film's official Twitter account, it was announced that Bryan Cranston will join the film as Zordon, the floating-headed leader and founder of the Rangers. Jim, does the continued addition of respected and talented actors change your view of the Power Rangers movie?
Yes.
Yeah?
Bryan Cranston, for sure, just swayed me completely in the opposite direction. This is a good move for them. Another big actor.
Yeah, I mean, you got Elizabeth Banks already on, a bunch of young actors playing the Rangers themselves, and they're surrounding him with talented actors.
It's a good move on their part, and I think it'll definitely play out or work out for them.
Yeah, I think it's a good casting, too. It's actually kind of comes full circle because, fun fact, Bryan Cranston's first roles was as the voices of two of the villain monsters, like the villains of the week in the show. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like when he was first coming up as an actor in the early 90s.
Okay. I'm all in on this for sure.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I like it. Him playing Zordon's cool. He's got a great voice, as we all know. So there's a funny joke. I think I saw it in the comment section of a video I was watching. And somebody's like, if Bryan Cranston's playing Zordon, then they should get Aaron Paul to play Alpha 5. And then he put in a quote like, I, bitch. So, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you probably laughed significantly at that. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, you probably laughed a little bit at that. If you're both, like me, I cracked up pretty hard.
Nice.
All right, so what do you guys think of Bryan Cranston being cast as Zordon in the Power Rangers movie? Does this legitimize the film for you? Were you already a fan of the film, or do you still think it's going to be a flying, on-fire piece of dog doo-doo? Which is impressive, because it's flying and on fire and dog doo-doo. So,
a lot of things going for it.
A little bit. Let us know in the comment section below, or hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, email, send us a letter.
A letter would be kind of cool. I'm not sure how we would get it because we're not revealing our address.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't need all the crazy fans showing up my door. You like all the hotties. Like, oh, your voice sounds so sexy. So maybe we'll get a P.O. box at some point.
P.O. box is doable.
I've always wanted a P.O. box.
Just to have the key and kind of walk up and just...
You feel like a badass. Plus, you always see it on TV. Like, growing up in the 90s, it was impossible not to see a commercial with, like, send your so-and-so to P.O. Box. And
yeah,
I thought that's when you made it.
Fans of Ridley Scott's Prometheus may be thrilled to find out that lead actor Noomi Rapace will return for the much-anticipated Alien... just leave me alone. I tried as best I could.
Like, worst possible pronunciation. Not like you pronounced it bad. Just like, I'm sure when she thinks about, like, interviews and stuff, please nobody call me Rapace. Nobody call me Rapace. Like...
Rapace?
That's what I've heard. Who knows? I prefer Rapace, but just purely, like, worst possible scenario. Like, my parents, they just really wanted me to call me Rapace.
Rapace? I'm just going to start over. Fans of Ridley Scott's Prometheus may be thrilled to find out that lead actor Noomi Rapace will return for the much-anticipated Alien Covenant. Despite rumors that only Michael Fassbender would be reprising his role in the film, Deadline is now reporting that Rapace will be on set to film a week's worth of scenes. What do you make of the rumors?
This is interesting, because for a long time, they did not say she was coming back. So I wonder if this is something where it's a big thing to where they were just kind of trying to keep it under wraps as long as possible. If there was a script change to where now she's back in it. Because
I think it was a script change.
Which it makes sense, because, I mean, a week, while that certainly means she's not like a main character, she's not going to be in 3/4 of the movie or anything like that. But a week can be a long time depending on what you're doing.
There's a possibility it could just be flashbacks.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where, like Anthony Hopkins, he goes on set for one day and he's in a movie for 15 minutes, and you're in a movie for 15 minutes, you're in a movie for practically a tenth of it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I didn't hate her in the first one. I don't particularly hate her as an actress either. I don't think she's great. I haven't seen the original Girl with a Dragon Tattoo trilogy.
I have.
The Swedish version.
All three of them.
Yeah, is she good in that?
Yeah, she is pretty good.
I've heard she's pretty great.
Yeah.
I can't read for that long.
That is a taxing part of all three of the movies, but they are all good films.
Yeah.
And the reason I had to watch them was because I don't think they're going to do the
girl who played with fire and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest.
Yes, I think those are the other ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to make those two movies.
Yeah, because you were a big fan of Fincher's version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrific movie.
Yeah, I liked it too. We'll get into that story eventually of how I came to see that movie on Jim's recommendation with my mother.
Another day, another time.
Another day. Aside from Prometheus, her best movie that I liked was The Drop.
With Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in that movie with Colin Farrell. Can't remember what it's called. But
I know what you're talking about now.
He plays like an assassin who's trying to give up the game, and she's this like scarred up neighbor who he likes.
Oh, she was in Sherlock Holmes too.
Yeah, but I didn't like her.
I just was thinking of other movies.
Yeah. She played a gypsy. I didn't really like her in that movie.
She was in Child 44.
Which that movie bombed.
Did you actually see it?
I did not. Just know it bombed.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm glad she's back. I think it's going to add more depth to the movie, and maybe this means we'll get a little bit more Fassbender too, which is always a good thing.
Dead Man Down.
Yeah, that would be it. That wasn't a bad movie. I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I also am a big fan of Colin Farrell, so
Huge fan.
take that for what it will. A popular topic here at IHB is the shared monster universe being built by Universal Studios, set to hit theaters over the next few years. We already know that Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe will lend their talents to The Mummy, set to hit theaters in June of 2017, and rumors have been flying that Johnny Depp will eventually become the Invisible Man. Bet you he wishes he was the Invisible Man right now with all that stuff in the news.
Yeah.
And now it appears that the studio wants Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to head up The Wolfman remake. Does the idea of The Rock in another franchise make you want to howl at the moon, James?
Of course. The Rock is movie franchise Viagra.
Pretty much.
He makes anything rock hard.
That was good. Yes, he certainly does. He has a stiffening effect on the box office.
That should be the next tag for one of his movies.
I'm a fan, obviously. I think that is a good idea. I like the Benicio del Toro one. I've mentioned that several times on this podcast. I thought they did a good job with that. Most people don't like it. The problem is he's attached to everything nowadays, so you hesitate to really talk about these rumors. Yeah. But this is like Universal going hard after him. And also he has that picture deal with them after we talked about a few weeks ago, with that Jason Bourne spinoff kind of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, the connection's there, but he's got Doc Savage, he's got
however many Fast and Furious movies are going to be.
Yeah, he's got that. There's rumors of his own spin-off from the Fast and Furious films. And
the Jason Bourne type.
Mm-hmm, he's got that, and then he's also got... he's supposed to be Black Adam in a Shazam movie eventually. Mm-hmm. So he's got a lot of things on his plate.
Whatever other Disney movies he's got going. Ballers on HBO.
He's a busy man. Plus he's got to find time to work out.
Yeah, that's like at least
10
hours of the day.
Aside from his schedule, my biggest worry is because he's so big, you might lose some of like the effect of having someone turn into the Wolfman. When you have a small guy turn into the Wolfman and he gains that size and mass, it's a little bit more like intimidating, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more of the Hulk thing. Like,
yeah, I was just going to say the same thing with Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
Yeah, small Bruce Banner turns into big Hulk. If you got... Essentially, they're just going to throw hair on if they choose not to make him bigger in this movie. So I'm curious about it. And also, as always, you got to question whether they're going to go overly CGI and stuff like that. So... Yeah. It's questionable. You have any thoughts on this subject?
Nothing else.
Yeah. If I had to choose someone to be in the Wolfman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is definitely not outside of the top 5.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you could honestly put him in almost anything at this point.
Pretty much. He's just so charismatic. I mean, damn, we talk about him every week on this show.
Yeah, we do.
Also, a good thing, rumor is it'll be set in the modern day, which we haven't seen in quite a long time, so that'll be cool. All right, next story, James, which would be the classic, the timeless. Well, technically not timeless because it's the crap we didn't have time for. First up, we have Sony has announced they will make a third Hotel Transylvania film and an Emoji movie.
And a what?
An Emoji movie.
Why?
You will have your time to choose one, James.
All
this
right.
is the crap we didn't have time for.
I'm sorry.
Next up, Darth Vader will be in Rogue One, and James Earl Jones will return as the iconic voice of the Sith Lord. Eli Roth will direct Bruce Willis in Death Wish remake. Nicholas Winding Refn wants to direct Batgirl for Warner Brothers. He is the director of Neon Demons that just came out in limited release this week. And Warner Brothers will release a Minecraft film on May 25th, 2019. James, which one you want to comment on?
Darth Vader will be in Rogue One. Great news.
Yeah.
Even better that James Earl Jones will be voicing.
Yeah, I mean...
the Sith Lord.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean...
long overdue.
Yeah. It'll be cool, and rumors are we're going to get the real badass Darth Vader. Because, like, he's a badass in the original films, but they don't get... You were limited by technology back then. You just couldn't show him being true, like, Sith Lord that you read about in the books and stuff like that. So we're going to be seeing some real cool stuff from him. Word is.
Word on the street.
Yeah. Well, words on Forest Moons of Endor and Bespin and all those planets. Tatooine. They're all really talking up some good shit.
Yeah, those streets.
The one that I'm going to pick is the one that you commented on first. The Emoji movie. Hotel Transylvania 3. Solid. Those movies make money. Sony's smart to do that. The Emoji movie is the one where it's like, oh crap, they saw that Lego Movie and Angry Birds worked, so now they're throwing whatever they can at the wall and hoping it sticks. And to be honest, it's probably going to make money because animated movies make money nowadays.
I don't understand what they're going to do.
Same thing that they did with the
just make a whole universe about emojis.
Yeah, the
smiley faces, angry faces.
Yeah, the
cat faces.
The Lego Movie. It's
upside down smiles.
Mm-hmm. Believe it or not,
are they going to throw in the eggplant?
Oh, they've got to, right? Like,
can you make this R?
Oh, there's going to be so many dirty jokes available at their fingertips
that they're not going to be able to use because they're going to go kid friendly with this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or at least maybe PG-13.
No, it'll definitely be PG. There's no way they can.
I think they could go PG-13 because, well, how old are kids when they get cell phones now?
Like 10.
All right, maybe they go PG.
Yeah, it's a weird age. All right, so that was all the crap we don't have time for. If there's anything that you want more info on, why don't you hit us up on Twitter or send us an email, and maybe we'll talk about it next week. With that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, please like this episode and subscribe to the I've Had Better Podcast Network. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at IHB Podcast or on Facebook. Go like the I've Had Better Podcast page. James, tell the people where they can locate you.
You can locate me on Twitter at _Kaiser_Soze or on Facebook as Jimmy Langos. And please read all of Dom's reviews on our website, www.ihbpodcast.com. And please subscribe to the iTunes page link. What is it called? App?
That's a good question. I mean, it's just
I keep saying
the
page,
podcast.
and I don't know what it is.
It's just purely subscribe to the podcast. Yeah,
we're gonna call it an app this time. At least it'll change in the next episode.
Oh, for sure.
And you can find that by typing in IHB Podcast, IHB Movies, and I've Had Better Podcast.
Yep, all three of those. They will take you right to us. We've got a great red background, and we've got a 30 overall. We're doing pretty well. I am Dominic Demore. You can follow me on Twitter at Dom Demore. That's DOMDEMORE. Or on Facebook as Dominic Demore. James, how was your show today?
I've had better.
Good night, everybody.